You ready? Hey guys, and welcome back to the Rift South Asian Championship qualifiers by the Esports Club. Yesterday we had so many amazing matches, and today it's going to be Super 6 versus Reloaded. I will be one of your casters today. My name is Apollonia, and with me is Van Gogh.
Hey guys.
All
You
right.
guys know me from the Bangladeshi scene. I'm the top laner for RV, and I played the last couple of tournaments.
All right, that's so cool. I'm very excited to join you today, join each other. This is new for me, a new experience casting with you, so it's going to be cool. Right now, we're in the pick and ban stage. It's champion select. We see the Vladimir target ban on the side of Super 6. We know they don't like Pyro Nubik on that.
Yes. It's
And,
his main champion, so like he one-tricked the champion for a while, so it's always wise to ban out the one-tricks. But he actually developed quite a list of champions, so
yeah, his Vladimir is like when he stays in lane and he just farms, get all of that CS, and he gets those core items that he needs on Vlad, he just pops right off, and it's almost like he can carry the game by himself. So I can see why it's a much needed ban from the side of Super 6. You know, they're taking out the Nunu and the Ramas. I'm guessing they don't like that early jungle pressure. What do you think about the bans on the side of Reloaded?
I think the Renekton is for Zuko. He goes by Asuran now, and he's been playing really well with Renekton. And there's the second ban for him as well, with Ornn. So I guess they're trying to like figure out a way to like get their own top laner going.
Yeah, Renekton has been an extremely popular pick. You know, he holds himself in lane really well. If he gets that early lead, he just steamrolls down the lane. So we can see why that's going to be banned. And Xayah, a first pick Xayah on the side of Super 6. I actually really like this pick. I feel that it's safe. It's good to go with your AD pick, your AD support, or your jungle picks. If
Early
you do
on.
if you do have that priority. So Xayah very safe, and we do see the Kai'Sa coming in as a counter pick. So far, what do you think? Xayah versus Kai'Sa?
These are regular picks. Like you pick Xayah on one side, you pick Kai'Sa on the other. It's very obvious if the other doesn't get banned out. Because these two ADCs have been like the best in the last few patches. It's just generic stuff for now.
Exactly, and we see that they are going to take away the Rakan pick. I felt that, you know, if they had Nautilus, it would be good because Kai'Sa Nautilus is a very strong and reliable bot lane. That would mean that they have to give up that Rakan to Xayah. But I honestly feel that's okay because Kai'Sa Nautilus versus Xayah Rakan, I actually think Kai'Sa Nautilus has the upper hand.
Yeah, I feel like they go toe to toe, and early on, if Xayah Rakan messes up, like say Rakan messes up his W, it's very favorable for Kai'Sa and Nautilus. But overall, I think they just wanted to deny the Rakan, to deny any potential team fights going wrong.
Exactly, they probably think that Super 6 has a very strong synergy in the bot lane. Captain Kirk on the Xayah, Captain Kirk has proven to be one of the best AD carries in the region at least. He always has his CS on point. Guys, I would like all of you to take note of Captain Kirk's CS. It is beautiful to look at.
And his positioning as well. Like in team fights and like in 3v3s and like all these corners, like he always stays in the perfect position. He's always reliable.
Yeah, yeah, I 100% agree with that. We see Kale, for the top laner of Super Six, most likely going to be in the top lane. Kale's a great pick, especially once she gets her items and she starts scaling. I know they've done quite a number of reworks on Kale, but nevertheless, I still feel that she's a great team pick. That
Yeah, yeah.
invulnerability is going to be so tough to kill Captain Kerr with that kill hanging around.
This is to say, like you're denying the KO Kaisa combo as well, right? So that's overall a great pick.
Yeah, and we have the Javan 4 on the side of Reloaded. I like it as well. You know, they're going in for that early jungle pick. Uh,
Yeah,
I've Super 6, they now have the priority to ban out potential top laners that could be a threat to the kill pick that they have. And for Reloaded, they could ban out,
did they
looking at
miss a
it, the
ban?
mid and jungles.
I think they
Yeah, I
missed a
think they
ban.
did. Yeah, they missed a ban. Probably we have no clue what's going on there. It might be a remake, but we'll see. We're now in the second pick phase. Oh, the GP being banned. Wow. I
I
didn't
think
think that they will ban Gangplank against Reloaded.
I think it's probably to deny the combo GP and even Galio has with Jarvan, because you like alt a group of people and then you follow up with GP alt or Galio alt. That changes the tides of any team fights. So
Ah, yes, yes, yes. And we see Lissandra. Pyro on that Lissandra pick. I know Lissandra is one of his comfort picks in his champion pool.
yeah,
It's not the usual style Pyro Nubik would play. He's usually very aggressive, deals ton of damage, but Lissandra is a lot more, she takes a lot more control of the map. It's just a different play style, and I'm looking forward to seeing it on Pyro.
I feel like overall team fights wise, I think Reloaded has a better comp. But like in 3v3s or like skirmishes, I think early on Super Six has the edge.
Yes, that's what I feel as well. So Super Six locks in both their last picks with Vi and
And we're
Talia.
getting to see Kaka's Talia. That's going to be really special.
It, Kaka, he is in the mid lane, so that's probably going to be a Talia mid
Yes.
that we are going to see. Yes, it is a Talia mid. Looks like everyone is swapping their champions. It's all in their specific roles. Looking at both team compositions, how do you feel about Super Six?
I feel like Super Six individually they're great players, right? So and they have a comp set out like with the Vi and the Gale they can combo, and with even Leona as well. Like you have all these engages in Leona and Vi, and you can use the Gale alt as an engage duo. So if they execute their all ultimates and like their team fight potentials properly, they will win team fights. But if they lose out like any single kill, the Lissandra passive might be really crucial, like to change the tides.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. As for Reloaded, they have that Fiora pick. She makes a very good split pusher.
But
Uh,
I do have to ask, like, Fiora versus Kale is actually against Fiora's favor? Like, from my personal experience, because if you don't get a lead early on, like, Kale just overall, like, outscales you in terms of, like, say, if you're split pushing all the time, like, overall, if you end up in a 5v5, the Kale will offer more than the Fiora.
right, that was what I wanted to check because this Fiora pick seems a little bit out of place. I feel they could have gone for something, beefier, more of like a bruiser, hard hitter.
They could have went for Jax, I think. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I felt.
or like early pressure with Pantheon even because
Exactly.
if Kale gets to level 6 without being pressured by the Jarvan, I feel like she can easily farm up to like level 11 or 16 and scale better than any other champion in this draft, right? So they have to like capitalize on like focusing top lane.
Yeah, and we see both the junglers. There's a Vi versus a Javan 4. So I find both the junglers to be very even picks. It's just kind of who gets the lead first with successful ganks in the early stage of the game.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure they can just split the map and like J4 should focus top side and uh Vi should focus bot side and like just split the map and like play around your strong laners.
Yes, and all right, we have a technical difficulty, but not to worry, guys. We will be right back very, very shortly with the games. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Rift South Asian Championship qualifiers by the Esports Club. So sorry, we had technical difficulties earlier. The picks were already locked in, so now we're just going to breeze through the champion select. My name is Apollonia, and today shoutcasting with me is Van Gogh.
Hey guys, I'm back again. We had to face a few technical difficulties, but we'll be back in the game very soon.
Yeah, so we see the bands, coming out. I don't know what exactly to expect out of Reloaded. They have made it to the top four. That's why they're competing for a top three spot further on in this South Asian Championship. As for Super Six, the Great One and Cap Kirk, they've been teammates together for a very long time.
And Fufu as well.
Yeah, Fufu as well. Yes, how could I forget? Yes, and they are such veterans at the game. They've been playing League of Legends for ages. Watching them is always a delight because things like my eye candy specifically is creep scores. So when I look at it, I feel great, so great. And but one thing I would like to see them brush up on is definitely their team macro.
Yeah, it'll come like over time. Like it's still a fresh new team, right? So over time, I think they did develop a good team synergy, and like every game they play, they get better in like their team macro.
That's very true. And we see the Talia pick, Leona, Zaya, and if I'm not wrong, it is going to be a Kaisa Rakan bottom lane versus a Zaya Leona. How do you think that's going to fare?
I think it's probably going to be in favor of Zaya and Leona, especially because I feel Rakan is overall, a squishy champion, right? So if he messes up like his combo or like if he messes up his W and he can't E back in time, it's going to be an easy kill for Zaya Leona because they can just chain their CC. So
Yeah, and Leona versus the Rakan. Rakan is always mistaken as a champion that is relatively tanky or that he can actually take quite a hit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Rakan is going to be such a dicey pick for Reloaded because they're up against that Leona. Leona offers so much CC, but she also runs the risk of going all in and she can't come back out. So
Or
every
the team can't follow up with it.
yeah, so every engage made from the Leona has to be a lot more calculated from the side of um
Super Six.
Reloaded playing Rakan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm really excited to see how this Fiora is played out. Because if they do play a split pushing style and it's 1-4, and I feel like they can capitalize on it because 4v4s or like 3v3s in the jungle area or like in say objective control. Overall, I think Reloaded has a better chance with, especially with the Lissandra and Jarvan combo. Like if they can get a passive off of any kill, they can easily capitalize on multiple kills.
Yeah, that's really true. That Lissandra passive as well is going to come in very handy for their team fights. I just wonder how Fiora will be able to, you know, pull off what she's supposed to do. Looking at that the team comp that Fiora has to face, Super Six can basically lock her down and she can't even move and she just be popped in an
Exactly.
instant. So it's I want to think that Reloaded has an overall balanced comp, but they can always surprise us. We never know. Fiora might
Definitely.
get really fat in late and just split push her
And
entire way to victory.
even in 5v5s, like say Fiora TP's in and Gale TP's in, like even in a 5v5 situation, if Fiora gets locked down and if she can manage a good parry, that can turn the fight right there. So it is going to depend on the player's mechanical skills. I personally haven't seen Infinity play Fiora all that much, but like I can tell from experience that Zuko plays a very good Gale. So let's see how each of these players actually execute their champions.
Yeah, and we were speaking earlier about how most of the top lane matchups, they're always very exciting, I feel, especially in this
Definitely.
scene. Um, it's always like there's always like a very high display of skill in the top lane across all teams coming from this South Asian scene. And I'm definitely looking forward to this Kale versus Fiora because I don't know what's actually going to come out of this in the top lane. I don't know who actually has the upper hand, but you reckon Kale does, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because overall, like scaling wise, Kale does have the upper hand, and if Pure doesn't capitalize early on, it's a free lane for Kale, right? He hits level 6 and he gets the components of Gunblade, and then he can just kite around a Fiora. But it'll depend on Jarvan to like help the Fiora out and get a lead early on.
Yeah. And you see Javan, both the junglers, they run the risk of, if they get counter ganked by their opponent, it doesn't look great for them because they've Javan 4 and Vi, they're both very skill reliant. They got to
Yeah,
use
yeah.
their skills for that combo, for that big burst of damage that they can provide. So watching the pathing of Fufu and Regank, I feel that Regank is a really decent jungler, and so is Fufu QT. Fufu has like patience, a lot of patience, while I feel that Regank is a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah,
So
and
I would like to see how what is going to happen when they meet up.
this will depend on how, like Fufu being a veteran, he'll have the upper hand in terms of like, having the patience, knowing when to go in and when not to. Because Regank overall, I've seen like him being a little impatient and like taking risky fights, and some fights have turned for his favor and like some against him. So it depends completely on how good your mental is.
Yeah. And right now we have moved into the loading screen. You guys do subscribe to the Esports Club's YouTube channel, which is this channel you're watching the broadcast from. Your support will be greatly appreciated. And Van Gogh, I just want to ask you, how do you feel about the keystones? Do you see anything out of the ordinary? Um, the
Uh,
one thing that catches my eye is the kill with the lethal tempo.
yeah, I've seen Zuko play with lethal tempo. I'm not too surprised because in general, like we see the klepto, right? Like we see that you have to survive with the klepto, the sustained klepto offers. But Zuko is very confident in his scale, and so he's running lethal tempo so that he scales even better into late game.
Right. Okay, I can see how this keystone works. I'd love to see this in action, especially against this Fiora. It's going to be pretty spicy. Both teams have only taken one teleport, and they are the top laners. As for Kai'Sa, you see, this is a Kai'Sa with cleanse.
Cleanse, yeah.
Yeah,
Not gonna take any risks. So I'm guessing like they'll try to farm up bot lane because I guess being players for such a long time, I guess they did understand the risk they have against Saya and Leona. So
yeah, it can be like perma CC is just going to be like a chain reaction.
yeah,
And looks like we're in game, but it's a pause. Customary, always going to happen in these South Asian tournaments. Um, Looking at both the lineups, early game, I feel that if Reloaded does not get a little bit of a push, it's going to be really tough as the game just progresses on.
yeah, because I think scaling wise, Super Six has the upper hand, and like Reloaded will have a better chance like during the mid game because they will have their key items going. Like Kaisa with if he goes for the Muramana build, and with Lissandra like you just need Lissandra for the utility, right? And overall, like mid game, I think Reloaded has a better opportunity to like capitalize on like say the objective areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm sorry everybody, it was my mistake. I see that Pyro has taken teleport. So Reloaded, they're looking for that map control. I hope to see, like a 4-man or 5-man in one lane. They get the early tower plates and really utilize the teleport spell that they have taken. As for Super Six, they only have the Kale to rely on. But there is the Talia wall, and that, basically is like a global.
Exactly. And I feel like Kale moving out of lane, like TPing early on we won't see that. So I think Super Six won't take any risky fights early on. They'll just try to set up their lanes, for their level sixes, and Fufu and Kaka will definitely move together after their level six.
Yes, it's always in Kaka's nature to roam from the mid lane down to bot. He can do it as early as level 2, level 3. He does
Yeah,
not care. Wherever he can get a kill, he will get that kill. Talia is definitely one of his comfort picks. Uh,
signature picks, to be
is
honest.
it actually a signature? I thought LeBlanc was the signature for
Well, in
the
recent
Great One.
times, I think it is the Talia, and he's been, showing it like with so much, skill. Like, most of the players playing Talia, we expect something, but like when we see Kaka on Talia, we see like the true potential of the champion.
Yeah, that's true, that's true, that's true. So now everybody is moving into their positions. Looks like they are guarding the openings to their jungle. I think e- either team, they're looking to place a ward to get
Get some
information,
information. Yeah,
yeah, on what the enemy jungler is going to do, what is their pathing going to be like. We see a bit of poke coming out from the Great One onto regank. Don't worry, he's just going to recall and take a little stroll back. Nothing too major.
we don't see any aggressive, vision wards yet. Like to get some vision of the where the jungler could start.
Exactly, and the first Drake that will be spawning is the Air Drake, and you know, Air Drakes are important, especially in 5v5s like this.
Yeah,
That will help offer so much help in terms of rotation, that extra movement speed boost. So if the Great One and Fufu QT they do secure this early dragon, it will make the whole roaming situation a lot easier for them as well. It will basically give them that small boost that they need in the early game to get their champion scaling and going.
exactly. And I feel like the air drake will be really good for Super Six because it really helps with Talia's mobility, and we already see a level 2 gank top.
Yeah, and we see a gank
This
happening
is
in the
this
top
is what
lane.
I wanted. This is what we should expect in this lane.
Yeah, so Asuran had to burn a flash there. You guys call him Zuko, right? If I'm not wrong, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get these names. Alright, so Zuko on the Kale. Had to burn that early flash. It was a great gank right after the red buff regank just went straight to top. Maybe he's going to have a regank, but it looks like he's looking for an opportunity on the Talia. Doesn't quite get it, gets a few rocks thrown in his face.
That's a lot of presence from him. This early on. I really respect that. It's really good.
Yeah, the early pressure for that Fiora. You see, Reloaded, they took this Fiora pick and I think they're going to make something out of it. And that early pathing, we can see that there is going to be a significant amount of importance placed on Black Infinity.
Yeah, because I do feel like this Fiora, like if you help her out and like get her going, I feel like she can solo carry the game. Because the champion itself is so obnoxiously strong, so like she can just split push all the way to just give all these turrets and advantages.
Exactly, and as the game progresses, I also want to see how Fiora and Kale stands against each other when they're in the side lanes, because usually most teams they like the 4-1 strategy
Yeah.
when it comes to the mid to late game. It's great for controlling the objectives like the Dragon or the Baron, and we see a whole lot of pings coming out, and the great one with Fufu Cutie looking
You see
to
a
find
gank bot lane
Jarvan
already.
for, but there is a gank happening here.
Good
Pentacle
flash.
flashes in the wrong direction. Is he going to dodge that regank? Commits onto Catcuck. That was a little bit dodgy, but first blood goes over to Born for heaven.
I honestly thought that was a good flash from Kirk, but I'm not too sure anymore because he did dodge the crucial CC. But
Exactly,
respect
but-
to Regank for like showing so much presence early on.
Exactly, we were talking about how aggressive he is, and Fufu is really chilled and laid back. That's what I feel his playstyle has mostly been through the past few games that I've seen him in the previous tournament as well. So Regank showing his dominance, I like it a lot. That early kill for the Kai'Sa is really going to help her, especially if you stop Leona from being able to. Oh, and there is the claw into the Great
Good
White,
counter
flashes out
gank.
to safety. Regank is really low, and he burns the flash as well as Fufu Cutie. The sweeping lens. Regank is not going to come out of this alive. That is one kill to Fufu Cutie. Great, you see the counter ganks. That was a good counter gank.
This is what I'm trying to say. Like, Fufu and Kaka has been playing for so long. I'm sure Kaka called it. Like, he knew, like, Jaipur just ganked bot, and he's the type of player who keeps up on, like,
Best to keep moving.
Alright, so looking at both sides of the team, whew, the goal difference is still, like, there's not much. What can we say? It's 5 minutes, but we see Leona coming in with an engage. Nothing's gonna happen. Rakan is gonna go back to safety, but was that actually a bait? Right, so sorry guys, we just had a few technical difficulties right there, but don't worry, we are back. And it's one kill on both sides, very even. I actually don't know which team is going to take this game, but somewhere deep in my soul, it feels that Super 6, they're going to show their opponents what the competition is when it comes to the team fights, because they are really strong with that.
Definitely. Because most of these games, like from last day as well, like no games are, ending before 25 minutes, right? It's like almost every game is going to 30 minutes. And if this game goes to 30 minutes, I feel like obviously Super 6 has the better team comp. Like with the scaling and like even Talia damage late game is crazy. And Kirk in his, playing Zaya, it's always reliable late game.
Exactly, yeah, I agree with you on that. We see King trying to do a little sneaky. Nothing's gonna come out of it. Jarvan thinks he's safe doing his camp, Or is he not? But it looks like the director camera is not going to show us what is happening in the top lane. There is a vision ward. Regang is going to spot that and clear it. There's a lot of vision across the map that is primarily Super Sixes. I hope to see Reloaded, take more map control at this point and really try to push themselves against Super 6. And we see the Leona coming in with an engage. She stuns Dominic, but he's going to shield out to safety. Nothing much is happening, don't you think?
Yeah, but I do want to highlight on Zuko's scale.
Oh wow, Pyro Nubic with the ulti, but the Great One cleanses it. He is running for his life. Regang decides, nah,
Yeah, I
that
think-
is not a fight he wants to take. But here comes Vi charging up the punch. The ulti gets dropped, both get a knockup, and Regang is thrown back. The Great One, wow, that burst damage. Fufu Cutie gets another kill. And did you peep that Leona with the cheeky E? Oh my gosh, that rotation was great. Sadly, she didn't get an assist from it, but really good backup right there.
Yeah, the presence is important. It actually shows how confident the teams are, right? So I feel like with a head start from Reloaded, I feel like they're lacking behind now. Like they're playing a lot more passive now.
Yeah, they're going to take a step back, assess the situation. I feel that they might... There's probably going to be a little bit of intimidation going against Super 6. I mean, they have members that are very experienced. And it's like right now, you see they're showing so much dominance. Regang is looking for a gank. Fufu Cutie punches him. Something is happening. Regang tries to commit, pops the ulti safely, but he is going to get shot down. No deflections, but was still caught in the cataclysm. Oh dear, J4 goes down. King is running for his life. Is it a 5v5 in the bot lane? What is this? The teleports just came in. Ashuran thought he was going to get a kill, but no, he flashes out to safety. What just happened? So many things were going on. I was lost. That was insane. Do you see how fast the follow-ups were? Pyro, Nubic, and Black Infinity popping that teleport instantly.
Right away. Yeah. But this was in favor of Reloaded. I think they got the kill on Kirk. They changed their CCs really well, so props to them for getting the kill on Kirk.
Yes, and they're getting a few tower plates. Is it one? Was it two? It was just one, but it's going to serve them well. Lately the Worlds has been happening. Now we're waiting for the finals, and a key thing is that these teams, they always aim to get the Rift Herald the moment it spawns, at the 10-minute mark, and then they use it to get plates off of the lanes, and they choose a lane specifically to make sure that the champion in that lane gets all of the gold. So in this case, if Regang right now can secure the Rift Herald, he could potentially give 5 plates to Fiora with the Rift Herald.
And 5 plates, I think it equals 2 to 3 kills. And it's a lot of, snowballing potential, so it'll definitely do them really good.
Yeah, it's insane the amount of gold. It's going to give you such a great early game boost where the early team fights, you can just, take the upper hand. But it looks like Super 6
already started it.
Yeah, the support and the AD carry left, they're going for this objective. This is how a team plays. But Regang comes in, tries to smite it, but he does not get
that was too
Herald.
ambitious.
Yeah, and Kirk picks up the Herald, he has it. He's going to pick up a little bit of CS in the top lane, Kirk with the CS.
That was an incredibly good rotation, man. Like, how smart that was from Super 6's bot lane. Just, like, from base, they just moved to top straight. Like, as you were saying, the Herald spawns and, like, you just take it from lanes. And they just did exactly that.
Yes, looks like they've been watching Worlds and they're learning. But okay, well, they got 3 plates. That was good enough. At least they're attempting something. Maybe the bot lane is actually going to permanently switch, because we do see the kill is now in the bot side of the map. So I think this is actually a strategy that they're trying to do. The dragon was also secured by them. They did get the first Cloud Drake. The second Drake to come is the mountain. That's going to be great for objectives. I like it. I like how Super 6 is playing, because they're one of the very few teams that display that they have a plan before 10 minutes in the game.
Exactly. Like starting from their drafts as well.
Sometimes I
Like
wish
they
rock
do
would
focus
pep
on their,
talks.
pre-game macro as well. So it's really good to see.
Exactly, there's a lovely flow in the team composition. Well, we cannot forget that Reloaded is not really all that behind. Just that Regang is not having a great time. He's got four deaths. Not good for him, but at least Kai'Sa has the CS and the damage as well. She just finished her Mana Mune. Is that how you call it? Mana Mune.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
It's good for her, and we see that the bot lane of Reloaded is responding to the pressure from Super 6. It's a lane swap for the top lane and the bot lane.
And I think Kai'Sa got 2 plates bot lane, so I think she's probably relatively, in a bigger goal lead than Kirk. So hopefully, in team fights, like if she can pop off and get more kills, she can be, a reliable carry as well.
Yeah, indeed. And just looking at the wards on the map, it seems that Super 6 has most of the vision in their favor. And just as I say that, Born for Heaven tries to claim back a little bit more of more vision for his team. It looks like the next dragon is going to spawn in less than 20 seconds. The teams might be looking to commit to it. We do see Reloaded already getting started. They're all moving towards the bot side. This is what I love. Everyone's playing around the objectives.
Objectives, yeah. The name of the game, you get your objectives, you follow up with it. That's how you win.
That ultimately you gotta get the objectives, get strong, take down all the towers and hit the nexus. That's basically League. And we see Leona throwing out the ulti, but she is going to get popped. No, it was Vi that got popped. A whole lot of spells being thrown out. Leona is not in a good position. The dragon is resetting. Captain Kirk is in a vulnerable spot, but he flashes out to safety. That was a mistake made by Super 6. Reloaded capitalized on that. Took away Fufu Cutie. That's the jungler out. They committed, took away King, and it looks like the Great One is trying to put in some hope, but they are just going to give this. Is that going to be a steal? Nope.
No.
Regang secures that Mountain Drake.
I don't know why they took that fight. Like Super 6 shouldn't have gone for that, considering Fiora's moving down, right? And Kale's top side, and she's getting a free turret. Like you could trade that Mountain Drake. It's not gonna cost you too much. But you gave away a free kill, so that's quite unfortunate.
Yes, and we see Fufu claims his red buff. He is happy. In the mid lane, the Great One and King, they're trying to get that tower. Good bit of rotation. The first tower did go to Super 6. Right now they have a 2k gold lead. That's perfect for them. Are they going to maintain this? Wow, that's a lot of damage. That is a lot
slowly
of damage.
coming in.
What is this? A Luden's Echo is already completed. Dark Seal with 3 stacks. We see King coming in with the assist. Take some tower shots. Does not matter. And that is the second tower for Super 6.
I like how they, pressurized for that turret. Because now it opens up the map.
They really wanted that tower.
Yeah.
It's great because they're going for objectives every second that they can. Unfortunately, there was a misplay. They didn't get the second Drake, but that was good for Reloaded. And now I think the game is picking up picking up pace back in their favor. It's a little bit more even. It's slightly more favorable for them as well.
And to mention that the Kale's having a good time now. She has her gunblade completed, and Fiora's yet to finish her Triforce, right? So overall, I think it's up to Zuko to capitalize on that.
Oh, we see Pyro Nubik. He just got thrown back, burst, and that was a finishing move from the Talia. Fufu Cutie did not manage to KS that.
I think that was a lack of judgment from Pyro, because he should have respected the W from Talia. He can E away, right? So why would you take that risk? Considering, your flanks are warded.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be taking such risks.
Yeah, and the kill 1 mid tower is not even there anymore. So, I would say that was overextending on Pyro Nubik's side.
Yeah. I hope they get their confidence back. They do have a good comp. It's not like, going late game will be completely doomed for them. So if they can just, get their lane assignments right and not lose too much. Like take normal, like fights in their favor, like the dragon fight.
Yes, and then we
They
see.
might
Mhm.
be able to come back, like show their presence as well.
And we see Super 6, they just secured their third tower in the bot lane. They've got all the first tier towers in each lane secured. That is great. They're playing this step by step. What I like about Super 6 right now is that you can see the clear plan. Look at how everyone's moving on the map. At the same time, they are balancing their creep scores because it's looking great. Remember what I said about Kirk and his CS? He's rotating so much, but he's still keeping on top. Kaisa is relatively fat. Kirk has to have that discipline, or else, Kaisa's just gonna outscale him in the team fights as well. But right now, I feel that the two key components for Super 6 is gonna be that Vi and Talia. Whoever they target and whoever they want to burst has to die immediately. So I hope that, they have that team synergy when it comes to the team fights.
I'm sure they will, considering Fufu and Kaka. So I do want to see them 5v5. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen too much now, but like if they do 5v5, the favors then reloaded side. But like I want to see the K-Log being used aggressively.
Exactly, and the Lissandras in the top lane, I feel that Super 6 should be gathering around in the mid and bot, push for that, gain the control in the bot side of the enemy's jungle, and secure the next dragon that's going to come up, which will be an air drake. And that's going to be good for them because two air drakes, they're moving around really fast. It's like free mobies. It's going to benefit them in their rotations, yeah. So we also see. Wow, this caught me by surprise. I didn't. How Kaisa has got her Gwinsus completed, along with the Mana Mune that's stacking up, and it will reach the bonus mana cap in no time. That's really quick. I didn't expect Kaisa to have that much money. Now this is actually going to pose as a problem for Super 6, but
Definitely.
we see an engage onto Regang. He pops the stopwatch. Can Reloaded turn this around? The Cataclysm is dropped. Regang is still alive, but he does go down. Pyronubic self out. Dominic actually flashes out into safety. Black Infinity trying to flank, but that's going to be tough. Lissandra has lost the battle, so has Fiora. That is a 3-0.
Shaky ground.
That was incredibly well played from Super 6's side.
Yes,
They chose their
down.
fight so well.
Yeah, they closed down on Reloaded so quick, and now they're thinking, what are we going to do? But Kirk is going to back right now. I have no idea why. Probably going to prep for Baron. And what was that knockback? Wow, the great one, Kaka on the Talia, he is really showing them who's boss, because he has hit some pretty sick, like what do you call it? The stone lift from Talia. It's been amazing.
I'm not even sure. I really don't know.
Oh, it's called seismic shove.
Seismic shove, right.
Alright, so he's been seismic shoveling his opponents very well.
Honestly, he's always been so sharp with Talia's W. Like, I've seen him play so many tournaments and even in solo queue games, he's always so sharp with that W. Always, he knows this champion, to the limit.
Yeah, and we see Captain Kirk actually had that early back. He is securing the dragon. You see, I know Kirk to be someone who is very objective focused. We can see in his gameplay as well, like how he rotates. I feel that he's probably initiating a lot of this, or it's just overall really good communication coming out from Super 6. And securing that second air drake, this is going to be so good for them in their rotations. Baron is up. They should look for the control in the top side of Reloaded's jungle. We did see the pings just now being popped, so we can see why they're hovering around the top side of the map. Talia does not have TP, but she's going to split, and she does have the wall, so she can come in real quick.
And the two air drakes are going to help as well. So
yeah, it's going to be insane now because Baron is up, and they got to fight for this. Looking at the ward scores and all of that, King Leona, he's doing really well in terms of warding and dewarding, has the highest ward score, but that is what is expected. When they pull off all this strategy, getting all these towers systematically, getting the dragons, and now preparing for Baron, there's going to be a lot of map control work involved. And I hope like Leona is not overlooked because she has played a big part in providing that vision control for Super 6.
I think they're going for something top.
Yeah, we see them moving. Ashuran does not look safe. The ulti does get popped, but I think he is actually going to go down. The TP coming in from Pyro, and that is going to be a full clash, 1 for 2. I don't think that Reloaded is going to make
Kark's
it
there
out
too.
alive.
So.
Look at this, 4v2, Lissandra goes down, and that is a clean ace for Super 6. What was that? Again, their fights are not hit on 5v5. It's always a few members here and there. Actually, it looked like Reloaded had the upper hand in that fight. You know, they were going to take down Kill, but Kill lived way longer than she should have.
She altered at the right time, and that's really impressive. You know, like she mitigated almost all the damage, the burst damage initially she could have taken. So respect to her for, you know, like timing that so well.
Exactly, and here is the first Baron going to Super 6. Beautiful. Their strategy is working in their favor. They're pulling it off. I bet the team morale is great right now. As for Reloaded, you know, if they want to come back from this, they got to pick their fights more carefully. Especially, it's going to be hard because Super 6 they're moving in like a death ball. They're all sticking so close to one another. The follow-ups are so fast as well. They provide a lot of sustaining fights. The team composition for Reloaded looks a little bit tough, but if they can get the first kill,
It can,
yeah, then it can, like, if they get that first kill. But what is this? Ulti being popped on the Lissandra, but she does manage to claw herself to safety. That is an ulti on cooldown for Super 6.
as well as Vi's ulti. Those are two important ultimates.
Yeah, and we seem to have a little bit of technical difficulties. Don't worry, guys. The replay is going to work very soon. Right now, I'll just tell you a little bit about what's happening. You know, everyone's meeting. Oh, and unfortunately, there is a team fight. And Pyro Nubik is very low. Is King going to survive this? He flashes out. He does not live. Wow, Born for Heaven outs to get that kill, and Regang has to flash out to safety. What is Talia doing? She is insane. Right now, the Great One. Wow, did you see that damage?
That's insane, man. Like she's 605, 700 G on her bounty. It's crazy. Like she even bought the Magi. This goes out to say how confident Kaka is with the champion.
Exactly. Yeah. This is, you know, one of it's the top pick. If not, what was the term that you used for it?
I think guys. I forgot.
Not to worry, and look at Kaka again, he is going at it. He almost manages to take Rakan's life, but he doesn't. Sorry guys, there was a bit of technical difficulties, you know, the new patch just came in. There's a lot of bugs in even in spectator mode and also champion select. So Super 6, they are going to secure another tower in the mid lane. The inhibitor is open, reloaded. They are being stripped off of their defenses.
I think the play in top lane, like, you know, when it went to Super 6's favor, that's when the game kind of shifted. But till then, like, Reloaded still had a chance, but now I feel like it's going to be up to Super 6 to mess up to give Reloaded a chance.
Exactly, and you know, we see all the teams, they're moving together very cohesively. I do see that Spectator is now back, and the tier 2 tower in the bot lane just secured by Super 6. Wow, you know, they're playing all these lanes equally. They are looking at every single tower as an opportunity. Most teams sometimes they tunnel on just like, you know, one or two
lane,
lanes. Yeah, but for Super 6, you know, they're looking at every possible opportunity on the map. And we also see that they do have the third Cloud Drake. Their movement speed and location is insane at this point. Like Super 6, good. I think bravo to them because they played this beautifully.
Not to mention, like, all their lane assignments were so properly done. So now they just have the entire map open. All the outers, you know, dispelled. So it's just simple stuff from now. Just secure the lane positions and just secure the next Baron and just finish the game.
Exactly, and now with the Baron buff, it looks like they are. Oh, the
Oh,
Baron
that,
buff
that
is
was
now
that was
over.
an insanely well played.
Yeah, so now they're looking to. Well, there is an open inhibitor, and skirmish might happen here in the jungle. They are trying to remove wards, and there is a huge engage onto Talia. She goes down, and so does Fufu Cutie. That was what Reloaded had to look for. That was how they had to play the team composition. Beautiful. They caught Kaka by surprise. I love that. See, I didn't expect that to happen. Look at Kill teleporting back.
Teleporting out,
safe.
yeah, that's really smart.
That was a good move. A misplay there. They wanted a 4-1. Sometimes when you don't assess the situation and look at the fact that the enemy team has very good catch potential, you gotta start
Yeah.
moving as 5s and not 4-1. So that was a mistake that they had, and they were wandering around in the jungle. But it was a good opportunity that Reloaded pick up. I hope
Yeah, this buys time for Reloaded to reassess themselves and consider what their options are.
exactly. But with the 8k gold difference, it's still gonna be tough for Reloaded.
Like if they can keep on getting all these picks, I highly doubt that's gonna happen again. But if they can, obviously they can turn around from it.
Alright guys, and
But-
we do have a spectator buff, but not to worry. It looks like Lissandra is going to go down. She ults herself, and is that Zhonya's pop as well by the Vi? Fights are happening. Are they going to engage again? No, they are not. Regang is looking for an opportunity, but he does not get one. And it looks like Talia is going to push him back. The GA is down. Rakan flashes in with the big engage. This is insane. Everything is breaking out. Oh my gosh, why is Spectator bugging out? Not we we see everybody trying to fight for their lives. Captain Kirk, he is in a vulnerable position. He pops the ulti, he is safe. And that is Born for Heaven.
That
ulting
was
in,
too
but
ambitious.
Rise, but Ashuran is just hitting the inhibitor, having a great time in bot lane, taking that objective. Why are these fights happening in parts? It's not a 5v5. It's not good for Super 6 to engage this way. They played their strategy so well just to lose out in getting caught. I don't think that's sensible.
Like even though they lost that fight,
They did get the
Gale
inhib though.
got she got a free inhib and she's now level 16. And I'm sure they know they're in a goal lead, so now even if they 5v5 for this Baron fight, they ought to win it. Like they're supposed to. So it's up
Yeah.
to Reloaded now to figure out how to pick someone for fighting for vision. If they get one pick, they have the fight in their favor.
Exactly, and we see that Baron has spawned, and both teams they're going to look to control the vision. Super 6 has a great amount of wards around the Baron pit. Do you see the amount of vision wards? That's insane. So they are going to start the Baron, and Dominic senses something is sneaky. The Great One puts a lot of burst onto that Rakan. Are they going to pull out? I think they are. And is Baron going to get secured? No, looks like Regang is going to die. He flashes straight into a wall. That feels bad. And it looks like Black Infinity is going to get engaged upon. That Fiora is not making it out alive. Feels bad. The Talia wall blocks the Kai'Sa and Rakan off. Are they going to be safe? Does Fufu still have his ulti? No, he does not. But King is determined to chase them down. The Great One does not manage to land CC, but that is going to be the second free inhibitor for Super 6.
I think that's game. I think they can end with the next wave coming in.
Exactly, and we see another engage happening onto Dominic. Oh my gosh, he is trying to survive, uses his shield. Leona coming in with the sword. She reaches with that kick, and is that going to be killed? Oh wow, Leona gets popped. And so does Rakan. That was a support for support. But at this point, Super 6 is so ahead. They've got the Baron buff. They're hitting the Nexus Tower. What was that?
That was amazing.
Kai'Sa. And look at Pyro. He's going to die as well. All this Zonya, all this self-out is not going to help. They are damaging the Nexus. Super 6 takes this game. What do you think? Afterthoughts, Van Gogh?
That was incredible. That was what was expected. from Super 6, but I am kind of disappointed from, like thinking about Reloaded's draft. Like they had the right things going on for them, like for the first 5 minutes, and then they just had to be patient and not force stuff. Like the
Yeah,
counter gank, in I think that was around 8 minutes when Fufu counter ganked for Kaka. Like things like that, you're not supposed to force. Like if Regank was a little more patient, and like if they focused on their bot side when the Kaisa had the lead, it could
mm-hmm.
have been different. But I feel like Super Six did an incredibly good job. Like it's just expected from them to show us
Yeah.
this incredible performance.
I love the strategy that Super Six pulled out. It's very simple, basic strategy. They did have like a few mess ups here and there, but it was still pulled off really well to give them that lead. That, one or two mistakes, it didn't matter. And they did lose their lives in like points in the game that wasn't crucial,
Exactly.
as compared to like Reloaded. They were not so lucky that way. We can look at the damage charts and we see Talia absolutely wrecked it. Good job to Kaka on the Talia. It was amazing. The burst was insane. It was a good game. So this is a best of three, and this was the first match. Guys, do stay tuned. The first match goes to Super Six. We'll come back with the second one. Is it going to be a clean sweep or is it going to be the comebacks by Reloaded? I'm Apollonia. I was shoutcasting this first game together with Van Gogh, and I'll see you guys.
Alright, guys, welcome back to the Rift South Asia, sorry, Rival South Asia Championship. God, this name is a little hard to identify. We're in the playoffs right now between two amazing teams, Reloaded on blue side and Super 6 on the red side. The game score is 1-0 in favor of Super 6. And today, I'm joined with my co-caster, Crow. What's up, Crow? Are you excited for game 2?
Yeah, definitely. Like the last game itself was like a really exciting finish from the side of Super 6, and I'm really excited to see how Reloaded respond to that game one.
Yeah, because at so many times you just feel like game ones often determine a lot in terms of how mentally it affects a team. And Reloaded being a relatively new team, and not just in terms of this roster, but they're just like younger players who haven't played competitively as much. I'm really looking forward to seeing if they can get back up again. Say, you know what, let's take a mental reset. Game two happens. Let's play well, because there were moments of brilliance right in that game that they played, and they did show that they can match up to Super Six.
Yeah, definitely. We did see a really strong early game from the side of Reloaded, and coming to the bans here, we see the Rek'Sai and Renekton being banned from the side of Reloaded, and Vladimir and Ramus being banned from Super 6. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, essentially though, Vladimir ban is against Pyro and Webic, so it's definitely focused towards Reloaded's players, and like Regank loves playing Ram, is very comfortable, and Champ climbed to Platinum with that champion, so he's happy. And on the other side, I'm seeing a Rek'Sai ban coming out. I'm not sure if that was targeted for any particular reason. Seems quite interesting. There's also a Renekton ban against Zuko and a Zaya ban coming out. So potentially seeing a first pick Kaisa perhaps?
Yep, and Born for Heaven did have a really strong early game on the Kaisa, so
But
picking
he had
that
an abysmal late game, I have to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be critical, but there were so many times I was looking at the stream like, you know what, guy, why is this Kaisa not going in? And when he goes in, he dies. So I feel Born for Heaven will have to redeem himself, and he gets the Kaisa pick again. And perhaps this is his chance to redeem himself, because he had definitely moments of brilliance in the early game where he was farming well, got to 2 items, and that's going to be another Kale pickup coming up for Zuko.
Yeah, Zuko had a really good KL ult in the last game, which actually solo won him the game, because I think if Zuko died there faster, they would have gotten the pick and gotten away as well.
Alright, Crow, you and I are both top lane mains. You've shifted to mid recently, but you're always top laner by heart.
Yeah,
What
definitely.
can they pick? What can they really pick against the Kayle this time? Do you feel the Fiora pick was good enough, or do you feel that it should be something else this time to respond to the Kayle? Because Blackfinity has the counter pick yet again in that matchup.
Yeah, he does have the counter pick, but we still don't know if it's like a Kale mid or a Kale top, right? So that flex potential is always there, but I think in the last game, Black Infinity did have like a good matchup into the Kale, except he spent most of his time on Fiora like grouping with the team instead of split pushing, so that kind of lost a lot of the pick's power. This time, even if he does go with the Fiora again, I want him to like split push and match the Kale, because that's where Fiora is really strong.
That's going to be a Nautilus pickup right there. I think that's smart enough, but Morgana is up. And I feel that just might be cue for Super 6 to play a Morgana Varus sort of a bot lane, or you could potentially also see a Tahm Kench pick up to protect that Varus. We'll have to wait and see what the support Zen from Super 6 will get in this case, but that's going to be a Gragas pickup coming out from Regank right there. So again, potential for engage, disengage. Gragas is considered a great pick against Kayle because he can use his ultimate to basically deter Kayle away or into people as and when required. So that is generally a good way to deal with it. But as we expected, that Morgana pick also coming out. So bot lane is pretty much picked from both the teams, and Kaisa Not versus Morgana Varus. What are your thoughts on that?
So the way I see the matchup, it's like Morgana Varus have a really strong laning phase, but in team fights, if the Morgana Black Shield is not on point, Nautilus does a lot more in those situations, especially when you have mobile champions like Kayle and Varus.
I feel Dominic had a wonderful game one, and if he can make plays happen for Reloaded in game two, that might just be the only way that I can see them actually getting a lead in this game, because Super 6 just look really comfortable right now, and I think they have picks yet again. Kirk has shown time and time again how proficient he is in playing Varus, and I think it's right into the comfort zone, but I like the Galio ban coming out. Kaka plays a lot of Galio, a lot of global map pressure with that champion, and that's going to be banned out against him.
Yep, and we see the Gangplank and the Garen banned out from the side of Super 6. I think those are matchups that they definitely don't want to play against, because Gangplank can match the Kayle in the late game, and Garen is just busted right now.
Yeah, I actually like that ban from them, but look at the top lane focus coming out right. The Blackfinity is Fiora's left top. He is a Fiora main mind. I think he has more than 100k or 200k mastery points on Fiora. And the fact that his left up means Super 6 is so confident in that matchup. You know what, Blackfinity, you can pick it again. We don't really care. We know what happened last time. Yeah, you got a gank early off. Yeah, you blew my flash. But in the end, I still carried. I still did what I could in that game. So definitely not afraid of that. But the mid pick up is still left, as is the jungle pickup right there. So what do you think are going to be the picks? It's got to be the Y yet again. So that Y is now going to be played by Shokya this time. We forgot to mention this. Game 2, Fufu QT has been swapped out for Shokya, who joined over from White Shadows. He gets to play this game as well, get some playtime for himself, and that's going to be another Y pickup. And why do you think there's a focus on Y from Super 6? Because it does seem quite interesting that in both the games, is Y currently like strong in the meta, or is just a good pickup to catch people, considering you have Morgana also on your team?
Yeah, you have the Morgana and you have the Kayle, so if a Y is diving in, especially one that has a lot of damage, you can make that champion pretty much immortal.
Ooh, son. Is that a Yasuo? Do
Yep,
I
it
see a
is a Yasuo.
Yasuo? Is that Black Infinity just gonna go all Yasuo on top right there? Reminiscing of the Shy. That's a good pickup, honestly. It has some knockups as well. Gragas is gonna be helping him out. Nautilus also can provide a knockup when required.
Even the
The
Swain can.
Swain can, right? So, not a lot of frontline, but again, as a Talia pickup, very comfortable. Probably gonna go mid lane against the Swain, which is blind picked, and that rounds off the composition. And Super Six honestly have drafted 3 out of the 5 champs that they drafted last game. Not trying to show their cards at all. Very confident in the fact that you know what, we can win this again because we won so hard last time. But a very different composition this time coming out from Reloaded, Crow.
Yep. And I really like the Yasuo pickup because look at all the ranged damage that's coming from the side of Super 6, and the wind wall is going to be like a huge thing in team fights.
Yep, can block the Morgana Q, can block the Varus ultimate, can block a lot of things. We'll have to wait and see how Blackfinity uses his abilities in the early to mid game, because even on Fiora, this guy wanted a team fight. I really liked it when I saw him trying to team fight, even though Fiora is not really a team fighting champion, it's more of a split pusher. The fact that he was doing so well, some of his riposts were on point, and he has shown promise in the Reloaded squad, particularly in the last game. I believe I was most impressed by him, so definitely looking at him to do it again. And it's obviously going to also be on the Kai'Sa to redeem herself from game 1. But looking at both the compositions, if you are having a look at scaling on both the sides, there is a Yasuo, Kai'Sa, and on the other hand, there's also a Kale. But I'm not sure because Varus scales beautifully into late game too, right? This is attack speed build. Do you particularly see any composition having any sort of an advantage heading into the mid to late game, or do you feel as if this is one team just has the composition right down to the T?
I think Swain actually has like a fantastic late game, especially because of the changes made to his passive recently, where he can continuously stack a lot of health. And that also increases the amount of health he gains from his ultimate, right? So Swain is going to be really hard to kill down in team fights. And if the Yasuo and the Swain play team fights properly, I think even if the Kai'Sa gets focused down early, they still have like plenty of damage to kill everyone on the side of Super 6.
I actually agree with you completely. I feel the team fighting advantage yet again seems to be on the side, or at least easier to execute on the side of Reloaded. You know what? You have the Nautilus Ultimate, you have the Gragas. You just go in, you press R. There's a lot of press R champions on both the sides, but I feel Reloaded do have a composition that can do it. But can they do it is the question, because they are against powerhouses Super 6 who have yet not lost a single game in the Indian qualifiers, mind you. This is their 6th consecutive win. They're going to look to make it 7 and go to the finals, where they're going to try to get to the first seed when they play against Storm Raiders tomorrow. But can they close it out is something we'll have to see, because even the last game, as well as and as much of a storm as we could call it, there were still mistakes that were getting exploited, right?
Yep, I think Reloaded did have like a good early game, but they fumbled a bit in the mid game, and come late game, the Kale took it all.
We'll have to wait and see if game 2 is going to be any gift different than game 1. But my eyes are definitely going to be on the Kakas Telia yet again. Had a beautiful game on so like one of his cleanse in the mid lane when the Lysandra ulted him was so well fastly done, and he's been, I think, one of the biggest playmakers for this team so far with his Talia ultimates, just making sure he can continuously get people, get catches, and do a lot of damage for his team. So for me, he's going to be the player to watch out for on the side of Super 6. But if you had to pick a player on Reloaded, Crow, who would it be for you?
I think it would be Pyro on the Swain because that is something he's been super well known for a while, and using that to match up against Kaka's Talia, it's going to be really interesting to see how that lane pans out.
True, and the team fighting prowess of the Swain, like you said, cannot be discounted. Extremely strong, extremely tanky, can even weather and can get a Zonya, right? So if the Y comes and ults him or something like that, he can still probably survive that level of burst and then dish out a lot of damage back in return. So I like Reloaded's composition in terms of team fighting, but it really depends on execution, and I feel Regank will have to also redeem himself. In the early game, last time he tried a lot of things, it worked out for him, but he was also not able to make certain things happen, and desperation made him try to go for the Herald, died in the process. I feel some unnecessary deaths right there. We'll have to wait and see if he can pick himself up in game 2, refresh his mind, and make an impact happen, because these solo inners from Reloaded, right, they're nothing, like, we should not discount them at all. They're really talented players. Yes, they don't have the experience that Super 6 do, but they're definitely players that can make, plays happen, and with Yasuo as a pickup, that's going to be for me, like a guy that I really want to watch and see how he does. And as we head up into the loading screen, Victorious Morgana, I so hate that I joined Garena Season 4 Pro because I don't have the skin. Like, as a Morgana main, like, it just pains me. But
I know, even I joined it in like season 5 and
yeah,
I don't have this one
I
either.
used to play on NA LUL at 300 ping. I got gold 2 there. So I have Victorious Morgana on that account, but I don't have it here. But it's all right. Anyways, like not bot lane again. I feel with Nautilus, Kaisa very strong in the 2v2. Honestly, it really depends on how Morgana can use her E to mitigate some of the engage coming out from Nautilus. So we'll have to wait and watch if that happens as we do head up into the loading screen, guys. Remember, this is the Esports Club presenting to you the rival South Asia Championship. You are watching the Indian qualifiers playoffs between Super 6 and Reloaded. The game is currently in favor of Super 6 in this best of 3 series, and this is the second game. Can Reloaded look to make a comeback, or will Super 6 close it out 2-0? Is something we'll have to wait and watch as the game does begin with. There's a lot of random Garena spec bugs, mind you guys. So just a small word of warning that in the middle you could see some lag happening as we already start off with the pause, it seems.
Yep, so let's take a look at the keystones actually. We see standard keystones from everyone. I have the Conqueror and the Yasuo and the Lethal Tempo on the KL. Who has opted not to go for the Klepto once again? What are your thoughts on that?
Not going for Klepto, I'm not sure, but maybe like again, like I would go Klepto any day. Maybe he's respecting the Yasuo, because the only reason you would not go Klepto is you feel as if, you know what, you're not gonna get those trades off, and you feel like you don't trust your own laning enough that you'll be safe, or you feel the enemy is gonna like completely come and try to gank you, which it did sort of happen game one with Regank trying to come in level 1 itself. So maybe he's just trying to scale up for the late game. Well, Little Tempo is more of a rune that can help him out later in team fights, whereas Klepto is all for the scaling and for the early game, trying to get all of the gold and sustain that you can get from that. So his rune setups definitely seem a little bit different, and I think he just is respecting the Yasuo. That's probably why he went for it. Like, because there's no other reason why you wouldn't. But it's a melee matchup. I would have taken it if I was him, because you can easily proc off your Kleptos with the melee champ, right? So he probably should have done that. But this probably might also bring to light the plan for Super Six, because they might just leave top lane on an island yet again and focus on mid and bot side like they did in game one, because Kale just wants to scale, and even if Kale is 1 kill behind, like it doesn't really matter for her as long as she's farming and getting to her levels. Once she gets level 11, I don't even think the Yasuo can deal with the 1v1 anymore. So I guess it's really up to Zuko to carry with his experience that he has had. This is one guy who's played for a lot of different teams, mind you. So there's a like a huge level of experience on the side of Super Six, and against a relatively new team, Reloaded, like Crow, you've been on the other side once, and you've been like Reloaded once has been, right? When you've played against so many experienced teams, at that time you probably had EDX and some other teams. How was that experience like for you when you know you are against a team that has a lot more experience than you in playing these matches?
I think the easiest way to think of it is that when you're the underdog, you essentially have nothing to lose. So actually, you don't feel a lot of pressure, and it's going to be really like about how you take that expectation of being the underdog into converting that into a victory. Like if you win, then you have this massive hype train that just keeps propelling you forward towards the next game. But even if you lose, it's not like you had anything to lose in the first place.
True. Because even if they lose today, they will still fight for third place tomorrow, and that's going to be against Know Your Place. So that's something that both the teams will have to really look forward to doing, because it's really going to matter who wins it. But if a win here, if you win today, right, you automatically guarantee a spot in the rivals South Asia tournament. So that's something that's really up for grabs. Storm Raiders are already a part of it. Will Super 6 join them today in the next one match? We'll have to wait and see. Or could this go to game 2 or game 3 rather? Is something we'll see if Reloaded can make it happen, as a resume call has been made, Crow. So hopefully we should not wait long before the game starts. And I'm looking forward to seeing this game, man, because I feel I have a feeling that okay, you know what, I don't want to be bipolar, like saying that two extreme ends, but I feel that this might either be a complete stomp from Super 6, or this might just end up being like a completely close game with, eventually individual outplays coming out from Reload and them winning. But I still feel Super 6 might have this in the bag. It just looks like it's their game to win, and they just seem so confident in that matchup right now.
We do see a level 1 shenanigan from the side of Reloaded.
Yeah, I mean, when you have nothing to lose, you go for it. But actually, they have more to lose than anyone else does. I think Morgana has to start. Oh, that's a nice hook that lands, and the lovely E followed up right there, and that's an easy kill coming out right there. Kirk does not even blow his flash. You know what? Surrenders his kill right there. You know what, guys? You got me. It's okay, but it's Nautilus is the one who gets the kill, surprisingly enough. But that's a good tempo addition, right? Because when you get a kill like that, your team certainly feels, hey, you know what, guys? We got a kill. It's gonna go well. It plays a big role in mental, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and more importantly, it's also a stack towards the Relentless Hunter for the Gragas. I think that is way more important.
Wow, that's a very good catch right there. I didn't notice that one stack on Relentless Hunter. His ultimates are going to be pivotal in this game as they look to change off their starts. Gragas is going to start off with Raptors, and Raptor start is a little uncommon that we haven't seen often coming out from junglers.
Yeah, I think he just started Raptors because the Nautilus was in base, and getting a solo leash from Akaisa might as well just take the Raptors instead.
Yeah, and I think he's just going to circle back to his red and do an entirely red clear. Meanwhile, Yasuo is in lane first, shows his hand. I think both the players realize, this is going to happen. And Pyron also starts with E on Swain. Not the first thing you would take, but I don't think it matters in Talia. Not really going to punish him that much. And level 2 as well, it doesn't really matter. Like, even though you got a kill on the Nautilus, he got himself a Ruby Crystal, so yes, he is more tanky, but it does not really change the state of the game as much as we would think. So I think, that's why Kirk didn't blow his flash, just gave it away, it's fine. He's just gonna try to farm it up, and they will be the ones to get level 2 first.
Yep, the Morgana W actually helps in shoving the wave a lot, so. And Varus does outrange the Kaisa as well, so the level 2 advantage, they take control of the bottom lane here.
If you were the Morgana right there, would you just take E level 2? Would you take your shield or would you take your Dark Binding in this particular matchup right now?
I think I would take the Dark Binding because while you have the level 2 advantage, and if you manage to land that at someone, the Varus can very easily follow with the Q and D.
Just that trade and the poke coming out from the Varus. Kirk is just trying to do so much damage in the turret itself without Morgana, mind you. It's just Varus that nearly puts a Bond for Heaven in half health and uses one of his spots already. And he's gonna have a little bit of a difficult time trying to farm out this lane. But I think once they get level 3 is when they can look to make these trades happen, because Ignite and everything is still up. And Kaisa, if Nautilus lands a hook, that's a good potential for the Kaisa to kill as long as she is ahead in this game. And Regang did not do any level 2 cheeses this time, just going for a full clear, it seems.
Yeah, on the Gragas though, you want to recall early to get those Predator boards, right? So I think he just wanted to get that as soon as possible and look to pressure the top and mid lane.
True, and you can see already the small CS bleed already becoming big in the bot lane. That's around 8 or 7 CS in just the first 3 waves that Kaisa has missed out, along with just being 250 HP. Right, that's a nice little bit of hope coming out, but Kaka responds back as well. So, end of the day, I feel Kaka got the better of that trade right there. But still, very interesting to see that both mid laners are not afraid to start trading each other in even just 3 minutes in the game so far.
I actually think that's a really good trade for Kaka, because if you look at the potions, right, the Swain has a Doran's Ring and Kaka has like the Corrupting Pot with 2 biscuits, so in the long run that's gonna pay off a lot more for him.
Yeah, and we haven't yet spoken about top, but it does look like Blackfinity is getting the push on. Has himself a small CS lead, but the wave will be caught up by the kill, so that deficit won't mean much once he gets it. And both the junglers, they just look to power farm till 6, it looks like, and that might be more in favor of the Vi, wouldn't you say? Because the Vi ultimate is what Vi lives for in most cases, and at this point, Gragas and Vi just, playing farming simulator in the jungle, just looking to get the level 6 and probably look to gank the first lane. And I feel as if bot lane might be the lane for them to gank right now. As the CS lead in bot grows even further, that's a nearly 13 CS lead, and I feel the wave is going against him. Oh no, he's gonna get it again, but that's still a lot of CS lead again, just through pure poke and laning from the Morgana Varus lane. And that's another nice little W right there from the Talia to catch Pyron Webbing, and he's having a bit of a difficult time in lane as well.
Yeah, I would actually like to see Regang ganking mid lane a bit, because Swain follows up really well on ganks and the Talia is pushed up without vision.
And I just feel like Kaisa's having a really difficult time. I'm not really sure how she's going to be able to deal with this. Meanwhile, in the mid lane as well, Kaka just being relentless in his aggression towards Pyron Wepic, making him hurt. And both Kaka, oh, here comes, oh, I did not even see that. Kirk right there comes as a beautiful Nautilus hook, and Regang at the right time, gets reloaded ahead, and it's Born for Heaven who's the one who gets a kill, but not before King comes, and here comes Kalia as well, will get a kill back, not before Regang survives with a lovely heal from Born for Heaven that allows him just enough more movement speed to use his E and run away, and that's a 1-for-0 right there for Reloaded.
Yeah, I was expecting the Gragas to gank soon, but he made a gank in the bottom lane and it definitely paid off, especially with Kai'Sa getting that kill. She's now back on the scoreboard, even though she's 20 CS down.
How bad that looked for him, he's actually even in gold. If he did not have that, he would probably be 300 gold behind right now. So the fact that Regang ganked that and that lane is now flashless is really good for Reloaded for them to come back again. But I have to give him credit right there. The way he ganked was beautiful, even though E was used. And Dominic as well, so smart on his Q, waited till the Varus flashed and then he ended up using his Q to guarantee the kill onto the Varus. So Captain Kirk does get focused a little bit, but it does not deter him in the least I feel, because he's just farming up, he's getting his items, he's got his level 2 boots completed, he has enough movement speed right now to probably dodge out more things, and he's probably gonna get level 6 first as well, as he is ahead in levels with the wave pushing for him. So that's gonna be really difficult for the Kai'Sa right now, because I think level 6 could be a way for Kirk to unleash more damage onto the enemy of the Reloaded bot lane.
On the top side of the map, we see that the Kayle has like safely reached level 6 with no jungle attention from either side, and she's also been slowly like catching up, and she has now only one wave behind. So that's something that Reloaded will have to be careful about, because last game the Kayle safely reached level 16 and simply carried the game from there.
It's a ticking time bomb, right? When you pick champions like Kayle, you always know you're on a ticking time bomb. When you pick champions, I have to ask you, what if you just pick Nasus into a Kayle? I have a feeling that Nasus wins that pretty hard, because the W can really reduce the attack speed, and he has enough tankiness and burst to probably able to kill it. Because at a certain point, like, we have to figure out what are the counters to Kayle in the top lane, because a lot of people are just blind picking it and being so confident in that ability that, you know what guys, I'm gonna pick Kayle, doesn't matter what you pick anymore. And someone has to respond, someone has to punish that pick. And so far, I don't think Reloaded have done it in the 2 games that they've played.
I don't think anyone has actually been doing it properly in this entire tournament, because this pick has been seen like quite a few times and it has almost always reached that breakpoint.
Pyron trying to make some plays happen, and they actually do spot out a gang coming from Y and Talia, who are probably looking to go bot right there, but that's smartly caught. Regang might be in trouble because he is half health, and here comes Pyron Webbing, but does not get knocked up by the Talia W, will survive, and that's very scary for Reloaded, because if that pick happened, that would have just been dragon for them right there. And level 6s have been reached on the side of Super 6 Crow, and level 5s now on the side of Reloaded. Probably not the right time for them to fight, if at all.
Yeah, they just need to buy a little bit more time for a couple of more waves.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, Ultimate and Poke being used against Asuran right there. So Blackfinity doing what he can in this lane, but Kayle just has enough sustain, has not even backed yet. He's sitting on 2,100 gold on his side and just chilling the hell out, it looks like. He probably could have just taken Klepto right here, man, if he was just going to do that the whole game.
Yeah, but he also did start the longsword, which is like a very greedy start. But I don't think he has been punished for it either.
Yep, and here you can see Pyron Webbing takes a lot of damage, but he was able to snare the Y, which prevented the Y ult from being used at the right time. Do know that Pyron Webbing has not gone for the stopwatch in his rune, so if he does get bursted, he would not have stopwatch to make him survive and heal back up. So that's something he'll have to look out for as he's trying to finish off his Rod of Ages. Is even in CS minus, so that's good. The biggest disparity seems to be in the bot lane with a 30 CS lead on the side of Captain Cobb.
Yeah, that 30 CS lead is actually pretty huge, but the gold is also like 300 gold down for the side of
Yes,
for Heaven, even though he has the kill.
We see another gank happening right now, and Black Shield is still up. King uses the ultimate at the right time, does not get the body slam, and King might be in trouble. Uses stopwatch, a brilliant view from Dominic right there, and Regang, while being in trouble, has to use his stopwatch. Is being used everywhere at this point, but this fight, one of them gets a kill back, and another stopwatch is being used, but that won't be enough. Dominic does try to do something, but survives. And that's going to be a 2-for-2 right now, but this double kill going on the Kayle, which is going to be massive for Super 6 as they look to get out of this trade. But that's actually just 1 for 2, right? I'm sorry to say that. And why goes in again? I'm not sure that was needed. Yes, it was. Byron Webbing will die with the Ignite and the red buff picking at him at this point. And Super 6 come back again with the 3 for 1 in this match, in this fight.
Yeah, that what started off to be like a decent gank setup from the side of Reloaded turned quickly as the Kale TP down, and soon it became like a 5v5 fight. And I'm not sure if that was worth it because now the Kale is so far ahead.
And his dragon going on the
some
side
mountain
as well.
break to boot.
What started off well did not end well for Reloaded as they will lose the dragon and 2 kills on the Kale, which is what you do not need. They will respond back with the Rift Herald of their own, so probably trying to get platings here and there. Kirk has been focused a lot this game. He is 0-3, but he's still farming up. And even after being 0-3 down, he is still ahead in terms of gold and EXP against the enemy bot lane. So that really does not matter, right? Sometimes people look at scorelines and think, oh, he's playing bad. But honestly, it's just about how much you get focused. And it's also about how you are in terms of levels and you're not. And the Herald is just immediately being used top as there's a rotation being called by Reloaded on the top side.
Yeah, they're just looking to get as many plates as they can on the Kaisa to get her back into the game. And we see an answer from the bot side as well.
They will get first start with the Herald though, and that's going to be a nice ultimate being used. Can Dominic get his Q? Yes, he can, and that's going to be a small shutdown. Can they give it to the Kaisa? Yes, they do, Crow. But that's going to be a shutdown, and Crow just not respecting the fact that a Nautilus ult is there to catch you, and that's a point-and-click stun, my friend. You can easily follow up well, and Dominic yet again making good plays, and yet again, Born for Heaven with the help of his team finds himself with 3 kills.
Yep, they do get the first tower as well, though Super 6 do answer on the bot side with the same thing.
Yeah, but this time though, he just dies, does not respect the fact that Talia could be there, literally one-shots him in that combination, and that big fat shutdown now goes to Talia. And I just feel like Reloaded have shown glimpses in the entire series of doing well, but when it matters or when it counts, they were just not able to make these things happen. And Super 6, with their experience and their players, are always able to find, you know, things that can just keep them in the game and get leads off of it. So that's really good by Super 6, but something Reloaded will probably have to learn as, you know, they play a lot more.
Yeah, like Born for Heaven, I think he died there with flash up and stopwatch up, so it was something completely unexpected, and the burst damage from the Talia just ended up killing him.
Yeah. The goal lead as well, right? Even though the Kale is like 40 CS behind, guys, she's just 200 gold behind in terms of gold against a Yasuo. Even though the Kaisa is 3-1 and the Varus is 0-3, the goal lead is essentially just 200 in the favor of Reloaded. So the goal lead is quite even at this point, but I do like the itemization choices. Kaisa is on 1.5 items already. Pyron Mavic might get caught and has to use the ultimate, does not have his Zonya. Will just get bursted before anything happens, and that's the combination that you have to be afraid of, right? The Vi Talia combination can instantly burst you from 100 to 0, and Regang is trying to make for some play happen, but I don't think there's anything that they can do, and top lane will be the one that's still pushed out as 14 minutes are, you know, we have reached that, so plating gold will not be available to anyone anymore. And good catches right there coming out from Super 6.
Yep, and we see Reloaded like falling behind in tempo right now, because with people getting caught like that, you lose tempo in the mid lane and there's no one left on the top lane to defend it.
And that's just not going to be good, because that kill then translates to a top lane tower, and Pyron Webic just needs to respect that and probably itemize towards the Zonya ASAP, I feel, because that's the only thing that might help him survive these sort of onslaughts. And like you rightly said, Crow, tempo is being lost on the side of Reloaded right here, but we'll have to wait and watch if the next team fight is something that they can look to do it, because I feel as if they do have the tools in their arsenal to make things happen. As you can see already, Captain Coke just being so close but trying to bait off with Regang right there. Regang was not able to get the opportunity, but he's had a much better game this time. He's had some really good ganks in the early game, and he has proven, you know, to be really impactful in this game. 100% kill participation coming along for him, along with the support and AD carry.
I mean, he single-handedly brought the Kaisa back into the game, right? So that alone deserves a lot of praise for him.
That's true, that's true, that's true. We'll have to wait and see what happens right here, because It feels like the game is now in a lull state, but that's exactly what I feel Super 6 are comfortable with because they know that what they need to do in terms of map. Their vision control is excellent so far, and I feel like Morgana is going to be able to peel for the Varus. It's going to be really helpful as the Varus himself has completed his first item of the game and is looking to scale himself for the second item. Yasuo also has finished a static shiv, so has decent amount of damage right now, but a Kale who's nearly level 10, one more level for her level 11, which is going to give her a lot more damage on her range, is going to be really good for Kale to also be back. And I feel the later this game goes, Crow, it's not going to be helpful. And you can see a gank happening, a nice ultimate being used, but it's not going to go in favor of them as Vigus looks to ult the Kaisa, and Varus is able to kill off both the Gragas and the Nautilus, and this fight is not going in favor at all. In fact, it's going to be a complete stomp as Super 6 just get a 4 for 0 in getting a pick off, and King or Zen Sam as we call him right there, brilliant reaction on that E right there to prevent the first CC from landing.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate because I think the Swain's TP was like 1 second off. We can see that in the pings as well. And he simply wasn't able to join the fight from top lane. So I think Super 6 identified that and took a fight where they definitely had the numbers advantage.
That's true, and I feel like this is disaster. This team fight was completely went in favor of Super 6, so they'll be feeling happy, and Reload might just be feeling, you know what, guys, can we win? Are we gonna lose team fights? Because a team fight when you lose this badly, right, when you are the one making that engage happen, has to feel bad for them. And you can see already Regan trying to do what he can, but does not realize the great one right here lands another beautiful W. And he's just, again, so much impact from this Talia. At this point, if you can't deal with it, you need to ban it. And Reloaded did not ban it, and now they're suffering the consequences of this pickup right there as they look to make another play happen. And you know what, if Fufu's playing or Kachik's playing in the jungle, I don't think it matters because Super 6 look just as strong with both the champions, with both the junglers playing.
Yeah, I mean, on a champion like Vi, it's pretty straightforward what you have to do. Like, even if you have the Morgana, Black Shield, and the Kayle ult, it becomes so much easier to play these kind of divers.
I don't think the Yasuo can 1v1 the Kayle anymore. No, he can't try to 1v1 the Talia, and that's what he's trying to do. The flash is not up right there, and he gets a shutdown. So that's going to be a solo kill coming out for the Yasuo, and Blackfinity time and time again is doing what he can, as gone for him, and also time and time again Y ends up feeding right there for his team, and again the disengage does happen, but the moment they get one small thing right, it just one other small thing goes bad for them. And I just feel the AD carry has not had a great game, a great series so far. Born for Heaven just getting caught out or not being able to be pivotal in the team fights that he can be is becoming a problem for Reloaded right now.
Yeah, like, I think the Yasuo had like a great play on the Talia where she wasn't able to run away and the Yasuo just ran her down, but when those kind of things happen, you need to like hold fort at the other side of the map and let Yasuo do his thing.
I feel at this point Yasuo, if he finishes Infinity Edge, he might still have a chance to be able to do it, but goal lead right now is massively in favor of Super 6 right now. That's a 4,500 goal lead in 18 minutes. Once Baron comes, you can pretty much be sure that they will choke the hell out of Reloaded in terms of vision on that side of the map, and they will look to make another catch happen. And that's how Super 6 might end up winning the game, because they are a team that know how to close games, even though, you know, sometimes it doesn't happen. It's going to be a flash Q. He does not have ults. I'm not sure what the plan here is. Can they get the kill? It's something we have to see. And that's a shutdown coming on the side of the player, and they will lose 2 in the process, but they get a shutdown on the bot side as well. What are they doing? They're trying to dive a Kayle with has ult and flash, and that's just not the right call. As well as they are trying, this just not working out, as that's another 4 for 1 at the end of the day, and you just give 2 more kills to Kayle after just trying to get back into the game, Crow. This is disaster for Reloaded right now.
Yeah, right before that fight, I think the Yasuo was about 1,000 gold ahead of the Kayle, and with that,
Even.
Yeah, with
that's
that,
just a
they're
1,000
even,
gold
yeah.
swing.
I think Reloaded right now just need to take a step back and do some serious damage control, because once the Baron comes out...
Well, it looks like they want to do some serious Kayle control, because the damage is going to be on the Kayle, as Reloaded just realizes, guys, let's make a pick, but they also don't realize that, okay, you know, Super 6 can just go for the Baron because you know what? They have a Mountain Drake, they have a Blade of the Wind King and a Rage Blade Varus, and if they can finish this off, then it's great for them. 6,000, 5,000, 4,000. Actually, they might not be able to do it on time as Heal gets used for Woman Shield, Predator gets used. Can make the Holy Grail happen? No, he could not. It's a brilliant smite from the Y, but the team fight does not go in favor. And Reloaded get the fight they want on the back of the Yasuo, who's getting 2 more kills for himself. And now Kaka is in a difficult spot, and he gets the Yasuo. That's really well played. Has to use the Zonia right there. Will not die. Yes, he can. No, he won. The triumph saves him from the luck, and that's gonna be a lost Baron for Reloaded, but 3 kills going in their favor, and that's going to be a good momentum scene coming out for them. And Baron is only in the hands of the Morgana right now.
Yeah, that was actually like a beautiful Swainy in the Baron pit which rooted 2 people, and off the back of that, the Yasuo and Kai'Sa just had cleanup duty over there. And
What do you think this does to the state of the game right now? Because I still feel that's advantage to Super 6. They got Baron. They have it on one person, but that's still something they have, and that's still a 5,000 goal in their favor. But when you keep giving kills to Yasuo, who when he goes back will most definitely have his Infinity Edge completed.
but it looks like here they're gonna fight for the Earth Drake over here.
I feel this is not a good call, but we'll have to wait and see if that happens because ultimates are not up for the Swain and for the Nautilus. On the other hand, those Swain, the Varus ult and the Violet are not up. In fact, we might just get it, so that's a good call. Dragon goes in favor of Reloaded right there, and they slowly are just trying to make these things happen. And you can see, you know, at times this team has the potential. They are in the top 4 of the Indian qualifiers. They're proving why that they deserve to be here, even against one of the best teams in India right now. They are doing what they can, you know, to keep themselves ahead. But Super 6 right now, I feel with the Varus and how fed Talia is on that champion to finish Morellonomicon, probably going for a Void Staff or a Liandry. I'm not really sure, but he's just going to be really fed. And I think they will have to look towards these carries because all the carries on Super 6 have more than 4 kills in their kitty.
Yeah, I think going back to the Baron death side, I think the biggest impact there was Reloaded got to reset and push out the waves because
Yeah, and Born for Heaven might just get caught out right there in depth. There he is. He does not realize that he's in trouble. Has to flash away, but that does not matter because the Y ult followed by the Talia W is like the easiest combo in the world to land, and that's Born for Heaven not respecting the fact that there could be a dive happening. In fact, that's a good catch by Super 6 right there, and that's just gonna, you know, increase the goalie to around 6,500 as they will send the Morgana mid lane with her Baron buff to get more towers, and the only thing that was expended in that fight was the Y ultimate.
yeah, but I think Y Ultimate apart is one of the easiest ways to make things happen. So it's gonna be how Reloaded can manage the 4v5 until the Kai'Sa respawns.
That's true. We'll have to wait and see what happens in this particular case because Baron is being used to break the inner tower, and that just extends the goal lead to around 7,000 in favor of Super 6 right now. And it's just 23 minutes in the game, right? So they are really ahead in terms of itemization also. But the thing is that carries on the side of Reloaded are also have the 2 items completed. So at this point, you could say that even though the 7,000 gold lead is mostly on the side of these players, and Regang will be in trouble. Has to do something, will die in the process, but not before Yasuo has his ulti off. But he's just in 4 people, not the right kind of teamfight. But now Born for Heaven gets the fight of his life because he can do damage if he wants to. Shut down on the Nautilus. He's fighting. He gets the kill. Has to run away at this point, but not before Talia finally goes and kills him. And he could do what he can. At the end of the day, it's a complete ace, a triple kill for Kaka right there, and that's going to be the top lane inhibitor going down. But that's a very, very close team fight.
Yeah, I think that's why we were afraid of the power of the Swain, right? Because the Swain tanked so much damage and then he returned a lot in return. I mean, yeah,
Yep,
so
I get it.
so I think that's what made the fight really close. And the Yasuo, while he got isolated in that fight, he still did a lot of his burst damage on the Y. So I think if the fight was executed a bit better from the side of Reloaded, it could have gone their way. But
Do you feel like the Kai'Sa should get a Zonia or something at this point if she's getting focused the way she is? Or do you feel it's just better for her to stack more damage or perhaps another item that can defend her in certain ways? Because it feels as if he has a damage in his team fights if left unchecked. And she was left unchecked, but then Kaka also did a brilliant cleanup, and now he has the Banshees and a stopwatch himself. The next team fight might just end game, and that could just be Super Six. You know what, winning this game completely in their hands.
Yeah, like I'm not very excited about the Hurricane pickup from the Kaisa. I would have liked to see like even a Phantom Dancer, because the shield will let you survive a bit longer. But I think other items like Zonias and Banshees are also like pretty viable on the Kaisa. But we see the pickaxe instead, so I'm guessing that's itemizing towards like a lifesteal
Yeah, I'm
item.
not sure. I'm not sure. Is that going to be a QSS or? I don't even know what that pickaxe is going to be for. We'll have to wait and see if it will figure out eventually.
I
But,
guess it's going to be like an Infinity Edge, if not anything else.
I feel like she already has enough items considering that none of the members on the side of Super 6 are tanky. Gotta have to give credit for the Morgana. This game deathless so far. Zen-san on that pickup doing really well. Clutch Morgana bindings, clutch Morgana shields rather at the right time to help her. And now that's 20 seconds to Baron, and that's just gonna be Super 6 is waiting in the bush, you know, like rolling up their hands and like, you know what, Reloaded, come at us. We're waiting for you. Let's make a pick happen. Let's get the Baron. Let's end the game. And I feel bad for Regan because he has to be the one to face check right here. He does not have a stopwatch anymore. He does not have anything that he just have to face. I think you should just send Dominic at this point ahead and see what happens. And
Yeah.
the catch is still looking to be made. The Farsight Orb has been used, not available, and now they will eventually start Baron with the mount in the hand. They are doing it so much faster this time though because of Kale ult, and this is a beautiful Talia wall from Kaka, completely disengages. They get the Baron, but can they get the fight? Does not matter. You have to see. That's a beautiful Kale ult to save Talia, but if Talia goes down, that's a main damage. You know what? Talia does not go down because she has Donor Saber Cell. But who will win this team fight? We don't know yet. Look at Kirk on the back, hitting and hitting everyone else, and that does not matter because that's a complete ace on the side of Super 6. Beautiful Kale ult and a beautiful Zonya on Kaka to survive. He does not even die, and that's a complete ace. GG, well played being used, accepting that the better team have won on the day, and that's just a very, very good team fight played out by Super 6 right
Yeah,
now.
that was such a clean team fight from the side of Super 6. I think Captain Kirk on the Varus had like amazing positioning, and he was never really under any threat in that whole fight.
It was just a massive performance, and I have to give credit to Zuko right there. Clutch scale ultimates time and time again, protecting his mid laner from dying, and his mid laner responding with kills over and over and over again. And while GG's were called, they've only gotten the top lane inhibitor tower, so it's not yet over. The goal lead is 11,000, massively in favor of Super 6, and I feel like that's just a matter of time before they look to siege the bot and the mid lane inhibitor towers and end the game. But can Reloaded make any sort of fight work out for them? It's looking really difficult, bro.
Yeah, I think the Gragas had 1300 gold. He was able to complete the Zonias, but I guess he just ran out without doing anything.
And great one yet again, lands and one shots. Oh my god, this guy is a beast. Holy crap, that was really well played. And Kaka just putting on like a show, a performance, so to speak. You know, like the guy has just played so well. A menace on this champion, dude. Like, why are you giving him Talia? People are asking. I'm asking. Because if he can play so well and you really can't deal with it, why do you give him this champion? As I think this just could be the end right there. Because with the Nautilus dead, it's just gonna be the bottom limiter going down. Yasuo there, nice ulti, but you know what? You can't, wind wall the W. They get a kill. Kaching also being very aggressive. This is why I really like how he's played this game. Definitely more of the aggressive person. That's what's going to be kill after kill after kill. As in 29 minutes, Zuko, the last or the second last of the Mohicans as we call him, Regang trying to get himself a flash Q off. King being, you know what, I only died once, and that will be my only death of the game. Dominic comes and runs away but misses his Q, and that's going to be an ace as they look to end the game. A clean 2-0 from Super 6. A really strong performance from each of their players. And good, well played from Reloaded. They did what they could in this game, but it is just not enough. A clear skill disparity, a clear experience disparity as Super 6 now qualify for the top seed fight against Storm Raiders tomorrow, Crow.
Yeah, I think while the finals are going to be exciting to watch, I'm looking forward to the third place match as well, because I think Know Your Place is also a team loaded with experience, and it'll be up to Reloaded to see what they have picked up from this game to win over there.
Yep, and that's gonna be it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed watching the matches as much as we enjoyed casting them. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where we will see the fight for third place match between Know Your Place and Reloaded, and the fight for the first seed for India for the rival South Asian Championship between Storm Raiders and Super Six. But for now, it's like see you guys tomorrow.
It's all about humanity.